Okay, we're live. Hi, everybody. It is the Art of the Garnish cocktail party. This is, I can't believe it, but I think it's the 14th in the series. So we've been doing this for 14 weeks. It started off as a COVID cocktail party, sort of a release because we were all, we had to stay home. And then I started calling it like the Art of the Garnish SIPs. I thought that was clever. Sheltering in Place, the SIP. And then as we've moved on from we're here in New York and New Jersey in the Garden State, and really at the epicenter of the crisis. So we've made a lot of progress, and I am so very sorry to hear that there's some resurgence in other parts of the country, particularly in Florida and Arizona, where we have immediate family, in Texas, where Joni Saphir has moved to Austin from LA, and she's really like family to me. So our prayers go out to you, yes, and we thank our first responders, as we always do, the firefighters and the police and all of the home healthcare workers. So cheers to all of you. And everyone should have their own monogram champagne glass. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Leanne. I'm the author of The Art of the Garnish, which is here, and the Hamptons and Long Island Homegrown Cookbook, and more to come. So we have more in the works. So thank you. All of everything that I do is the plants are at the heart of it. So when you think of all of the cocktails and drink and spirits, it all comes from plants. So this week, as I put out, I forgot to put it on Instagram. I'll do that later. But I said, are you feeling blue? I said, I'm feeling blue, sort of a cosmic blue. But I was inspired by the blue in the garden, and the star of the show here is this Borage. So I initially put it in the garden because it repels pests and attracts good pollinators like butterflies and bees and things. But you can see this beautiful star-shaped blossom that it has, and it does sell seeds, so you have to watch that. But I made the simple syrups out of it along with some basil. So I'll just go through the plants quickly so you can see. This is cherry laurel, so we have this surrounding our water garden, and I love it. In the spring it has beautiful white flowers on it that of course smell like cherries, and it's evergreen. It's pretty maintenance free, so we just have been trimming it, but I love it. I use it all year round as filler for the vases and things, which is great. Here's our blue hydrangea, a little bit of purpley. This is the very last of, don't look at my nails, the very last of the Amsonia. So Amsonia gets all these blue flowers in the spring. It's a perennial and very easy to take care of. And then it turns gold in the fall, all the leaves on it. This is the beginning of the agastache. You can see it's a little more purple than blue, but for the most part, blue does not exist in fruits and vegetables or flowers, so that's kind of rare. And then when I was cutting the flowers for this evening's cocktail party, right in our border garden in the front, there was this perfect nest, and it was on the ground. So I guess the parents pushed the birds. I'm thinking it's the cardinal. He's been they've been very active lately. And then I had these little eggs that I use for different tablescapes and compositions and things. So we put those blue robin's eggs in there, which I think is just great. This was my toy I was showing you all last week that I got. I always wanted to have, I saw in a club in New York there was a wall of fish tank, and it had white jellyfish in it. And I tried to do it down here in the speakeasy, but it was just going to be too much. So then I saw these. They're not real, but they do look real. And I have a smaller one that I'm putting on my office desk. And then continuing with the sort of blue flowers, we have this wall of passion flowers. I used the passion flowers in all the drinks last week with the La Diable. I'll just share this with you. This is, and look at that blue in there. Amelia, that's Melanie Asher, the CEO of Machu Picchu. That's her grandmother, her abuela, and she uses it in her recipe, so beautiful blue. And then here is all the different kind of lavender. I think I have 3 different kind of lavender in our garden, so I'm stretching it a little bit with the blue, but it's still bluish purplish. And then this, I don't know what it is because I'm not that good at the annuals. And then you can see the hydrangea, which is just absolutely gorgeous. And for those of you who weren't on last week, oh wait, I have to show you my cool thing besides the flowers. Oh, and I put my Art of the Garnish cocktail napkins on this little artist easel that I have. I use them for some tablescapes also. Hey Google, lower. Sorry, I think it's easier with the mic so you can hear better, but I know my voice is soft. And I also have to say I apologize very much for last week. The technology just got the better of us. I don't know. You know, I spend half my life in technology at Sony and with Sharp or Maxell and, you know, others, technology PR.
Jenny's watching.
But, hi Mom, how are you? And Mom got a new puzzle today. We were at Gina's yesterday, and she gifted us this beautiful, you can see it on regular Facebook that I posted. It's called Dawn, and it's the sky, so that's why I took the picture. We wanted to hide her. She's like, I don't want to see my hair face. She's getting her hair cut for the first time since COVID started. My hairdresser texted me and she's like, do you look like Rapunzel yet? And I'm like, yes. So I don't know, I think September is my time to go back into town, into Gotham, and get a haircut. So I'm hoping, in one way I'm kind of curious what's going to happen, you know, to see like what it's going to look like. I haven't had long hair since high school. But anyways, when Gina was looking at Mother and I yesterday, and she said, everyone's hair is getting so long. And it's true. But so we were there and we took a nice garden tour. So thank you again, Gina and Ted, and thank you for the puzzle. But I have to tell you this story. You know, I collect these stories of crazy garden things that happen. I'm a garden designer, a horticulturist, you know, as well as an author, and I do tablescape design. So that's why hopefully you can see these lovely compositions. I use the lights and glitter and tabletop designs and a lot of things that you probably have around the house that you can use in artful ways depending on the season or the holiday. So anyway, we were at Gina's, and she had called me a couple days before, and she said, did you do anything with the clematis? It's got these beautiful violet colored clematis to go over the archway that we made over the entrance to her garden in the back. And I said, no, we didn't do anything. So she said, all right, I'll call you right back. So ends up, she calls her neighbor, and he said, yes, he took it out. He fessed up. He thought it was a weed. Now, if any of you know what a clematis is and how beautiful, there is no way that you could mistake it for a weed. Further, you had to dig, and there was roots in there, so that's even crazier. But the most crazy thing is that when she calls him and he said he thinks it's a weed, then he brings it back. So as Bill said, if you thought it was a weed, why would you have kept it? You know, he could have continued with the grand ruse that he had, but he brought it back, replanted, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. But is that the craziest? I mean, people have beautiful plants and people steal them. I was saying in the Victorian era, I mean, that's how people showed their wealth. It was, you know, to show their plants. But in this day and age, I thought people could be more respectful. Maybe you hear the thunder in the background here. It's kind of spooky tonight. So here's my other cool thing that I wanted to share with you. So I saw these sneakers advertised, but look, they're all different cocktail. There you can see there's martinis, there's Tom Collins, Bloody Marys, Negronis. Isn't that cool? I can't wait to try them on and wear them. You know, they were very good. They kept sending me some updates and how they were painting the sneaker and so on. So I've been remiss that I haven't thanked my publisher, so Cider Mill Press, and everyone from my editor to the owner, John. They have just been terrific, and I love working with them. At one point, the women that I was working with, my editor, they were saying, Leanne, you're our favorite author. And I said to Bill and Mother, I don't care if they're lying. It's just so nice to hear that. So it's wonderful, and I really love the working relationship. And they make beautiful books. So look into Cider Mill Press also. So I also wanted to do a shout out again for those of you who didn't see it last week, but Jordan Grace, the woman who is a stylist, and she's also found culture in the COVID crisis, and she's written these 2 books that you can get on Amazon. I ordered them, so you can see Melancholy Mazie and Flowers Will Bloom Again. So there you go, Jordan Grace. The other thing is, you really should look into my brother James Popick. He's with 10 Foot Tall Band, but he's been doing beautiful hand rendered full musical scores. So if you have a wedding song, a love song, a favorite song, a sexy swanky song, he can render that for you, and it's frameable. It's just absolutely beautiful. Or you could put it on your cocktail napkins, whatever. So just DM me or Facebook me, and then I can sort of hook you up. So I hope everybody had a good week. For us, the Duchess design team, it was a lot of pruning, weeding, getting the last of the scragglies out. Today was my first yoga on the beach day, so that's pretty nice. We're really getting into summer. But as I said, the blues of summer, the sun and the sky, and that's what blue really represents. It's, for the most part, it's everybody's favorite color, blue. And as I said, it's very rare to find it in plants. I forgot the delphinium. I cut it upstairs. All right, I'll post it later, folks. It's just so beautiful. I love them. I finally found them, so that was fabulous. So blue, just what it signifies here, I want to read this to you, because I just picked all of this, but what it means, what the blue means, is not having the blues, even though we all do have the blues with COVID or with the current state of affairs. But blue is often associated with depth and stability. It symbolizes trust and loyalty, wisdom, confidence, intelligence, faith, truth, and heaven. Blue is considered beneficial to the mind and body. It slows our human metabolism and produces a calming effect. So our country house here is where the sea and the sky sort of kiss, which is beautiful, and that's informed our design and so on. But I think also all of us can use all that mind and body benefits, and certainly the calming effect. And finally, blue is the color of my mother's eyes. So there it is. You're a little bit closer to heaven right there. So this week we're focusing on the borage. So I'll start off with the gold one, I think, in here. So that's the plant that I was telling you. I want to tell you what its properties are as I go along. So I have to read it because I want to make sure I get it right to you. It has like a sort of a snazzy cucumber taste to it. And borage, they think, comes from the Latin for burra, like almost like burrata, but that means like roughness. And the borage plant does have sort of a hairy texture to some of the stems. And so I think that's where that came from. But it's long been used, the property, it's good for adrenal glands, it's good for urine flow. I hate to say that, but that's true. It can be used in tea, all parts of it, the leaves, the plant, everything is edible. I'm gonna have a little bit of this. So this one, the first one we're going to make is a sparkling borage cocktail, but let me just finish with the benefits of it. So the borage flowers, and Bill will zoom in on them for you in that little thing there. They're for fever, cough, depression. It's also used for blood purification and to prevent inflammation of the lungs. So I thought that was particularly important during coronavirus. It's a sedative and it can promote sweating. I'm not sure why we need that, especially in the summer and like a bad hair day like this. It's rich in gamma-linoleic acid, which is omega-6 fatty acid, and it may alleviate inflammation, and it's an anti-inflammatory. So there's nothing bad about this. Oh, it also is good for your skin. It can help in eczema and benefit other skin conditions. So I think it's, this is like so cute. I have to share this first. Pliny the Elder believed it to be an antidepressant and has long been thought to give courage and comfort to the heart. And there's one old wives' tale that states if a woman slipped a bit of borage into a promising man's drink, it would give him the courage to propose. So I don't know if all those folks still want to get married, but it promotes it. So there's always legends, plant lore. I follow this one woman from Britain, and she's Venetia, I think her name is, and she always has these great plant lore and legends. So this is the botanist gin, and so this is, gin is it's like one of the first spirits, and it's made from a lot of different plants. Most people associate it with the juniper that goes into it. I always remember taking my classes at NYBG, and Mike Ruggiero, when he crushes the juniper, and he asks, does anyone know what this reminds them of? And no one could say, and I said, gin. Then he said, oh yeah, we have a drinker in the house. But there's so many different kinds. I think gin is often overlooked. We started last summer having gin and tonic summers, right? With David and Charles.
What are you adding?
This is elderflower. This is Saint Germain, which is elderflower. You can grow this quite readily also. I'm just going to put like a teeny tiny little bit more in here. I love this. It's terrific. Okay. So again, this is all the plants, right? So now the Borage simple syrup, I just made this today. So we took some of these plants, you take half, whatever amount you want to, use. Sometimes there's like too much of the simple syrup if you make it like a cup and a cup. But today that's what I did. I did a cup of sugar and a cup of water, and then you let that, boil up. Then you put whatever plant material you want in there, or spice, or whatever it is. You put that in there, and then you let it steep for like 15 minutes or so. And then, let me get some lime juice. And then you just put it in the refrigerator, and then you have it, and it lasts, for weeks. This is fresh lime juice, if anybody wanted to know. And then we're going to just shake it up. So let me see where the top is. Here it is. So again, simple syrup is sort of the key. I think it's like bitters also. You want to use just endless variety that you can make, and using the edible things that you have in your garden. For us, since this started with the, which one shall I use? Maybe this one. This is from, it's not just cocktails, but look how beautiful these glasses are. These are all vintage. You can see the beautiful flowers. But they have so many different kinds of glasses. As I said, I'm going to see if they have those. Oh yeah, I'm going to show you something in a second. The Nick and Nora glasses I want to get. I think those are the only glasses that I don't have, because otherwise we have everything that we have. Okay, so this is done. You get a cooled glass. And you take your hawthorn straw, which I always love because it's like a little mask. Our masks make up everything now, right? Different kinds, pretty masks, other masks, just wear a mask. I've been going with a lot of, COVID cocktail humor lately. And I say, at my age, what's so bad about wearing a mask? It kind of covers half of your face anyway. The other one was stay 6 feet apart, or you'll be 6 feet under. I know, Josh, I can't make it as a comedian, but So now we're going to take, I got these little blue clothespins, and I think it works beautifully to grasp your little glamorous garden to glass cocktail. Can you see how pretty that is? And that's so easy to do, and it just clips on the side of your glass. And again, just like food, when you say the eyes eat first, the same thing. When you're expressing yourself with a drink and you're smelling it, the first thing is the flowers or the fruit or whatever it is. Now, This is something else that I find very interesting. It's from a kind of a sweet pea, but this company, Blue, I think I tried this, tested it out from my website last year, but you put a drop in and it makes the drink blue because the plant material just sort of oxidizes with the other material and it turns it blue. I don't want to put too much, but I guess I'm going to put more. And it's all just natural. You can see the color is blue. Okay. Can you see? Cheers. Oh, I forgot one ingredient. This one I'm going to add a little bit of the champagne to it, or the sparkling wine. And again, I like this. This is a Spanish one. It's very inexpensive. Belinda Chang first turned me on to this. She's a world-class mixologist and consultant. She took me to her club in New York after we were at an event, slow food event in Brooklyn. That's lovely, just so lovely. It's delicate, you know. I think you want that for the summer. I think that would be a lovely midsummer night drink, right? What are you all drinking? You can tell me, you can comment, you could write in. Okay, for our next drink, sorry, this is just too pretty. I am going to be starting my Ladies Who Lunch Facebook Live event. I want to be able to honor women and the things that they do, whatever their passion is, in the arts, their work, things that ennoble us, that benefit us. So I'm going to be starting that up soon. So I have a couple of people. So Ava Ballestieri, of course Jordan, my yogi masters. Okay, so the next one that we're going to make, so stay tuned for that. I'll share some more information with you on that. So the next one is like a botanical garden gimlet. And the gimlet, the main ingredient in that is, again, the fresh lime juice. And Bill loves British naval history. He reads a lot of books about it, right, Bill? Yeah. And so they say that the gimlet was one of the favorites of the British Navy, but I've heard that from so many different drinks, so I just think the British Navy drank a lot. But the key ingredient being the lime juice, I do believe that part of that could be true, is that they, to prevent scurvy, they discovered that if they put a lot of lime, and the sailors drank a lot of lime, that it would prevent scurvy. So the lime and the gin and so on. So that kind of makes sense to me. So this one has the gin at the fresh lime juice, and this has basil and borage in it. So I think that's pretty cool. So we go back to the botanist gin. This is a dry gin. They say it's aged with island botanicals, and it's from the island of Islay. I don't know where that is. Do you, Bill? But I think gin is like a perfect summer drink. It's just got all those botanicals and very refreshing. But London dry gin or dry gins, I think, are excellent for cocktails. We have been taking cocktail classes with Joss Sushin. He's one of the featured mixologists in the book. And he does recommend infusing your drinks. It's not your drinks, your spirits. So he's particularly fond of doing that with the vodka. The vodka is sort of like a chameleon, if you will. So now I'm pouring a little bit of the fresh lime juice in. And then this is we can't get the acid on the bar. Last week when we did the pisco, I got the egg whites on the bar, and that was rather dastardly on the copper top, so you don't want that. This is the bar that I designed and recreated from the one that we saw when we were in Havana. Hemingway's bar. Okay, so we got the basil leaves that we're going to put in and just sort of mull it up a little bit. Where was the other? All right, I'm going to use this one from the other one. So you put the basil leaves in and you're going to muddle it. Let's see here. A little bit of the borage. So this is your muddler, and it just really expresses, you know, your herbs better into the cocktail. You can also, I love these expressions, but slap your herbs. So just smack them, you know, slap them, and that can help express the essential oils that are found in your herbs also. Okay. I'm going to put the top on. I'm going to just cool off the glass a little bit, but before I do, I want to show you, this is another one from, it's not just cocktails, but look how sexy those lines are there. It's just beautiful, the etching on the glass. So then you're going to put this and then shake it up. I love up glasses. I think they're very elegant and they're the right size. You know, our cocktail glasses got way too big, just like our plates got way too big for food. So it's just the right size. As I was saying in the past, cocktail consumption during the coronavirus has gone up like 35-40%, which is not a surprise. And now you can get them delivered. Roberta Conroy Hunter, she has them delivered even up in the Catskills, which is something, and now they're starting to do that even in Manhattan. So it used to be kind of illegal in a way, but now you can do it. So this is a mixture of the gin, a simple syrup that has basil and borage in it. So I'm going to garnish this with a little bit of the basil leaves. You don't want too much, so you don't want to have your nose too far in. And some of the borage. I like saying that, borage. It's very sweet. Okay. I love these flowers. I've been eating them all week in the salads too, so it's terrific for that. The other thing, hey, that's not nice. The other thing you can do is put them in ice cubes. Put the borage in the ice cubes. Oh, I see what's happening. This little clothespin has lost its mojo. Okay, we're gonna float it like this. So, when God hands you a lemon, you make lemonade. The other thing you can do is you can use, I love using like glamorous garnishes, like pins like this that you can put on. Just add some like super sexiness to it. You can float these. And I'll use another one of my little clothespins. These things don't have the most integrity, I'll say. They are so teeny tiny. The other thing I was starting to say is that you can make the ice cubes with them. So these are the lilac ones that we had from the past Art of the Garnish parties. Now, if you remember, we've been doing this for, like I said, 14 weeks, and we've had everything from using hosta to tulip leaves to lilacs to, what else, Bill? Oh, the passion flower. So there's been a lot. Everything from the garden, that's what I was inspired by and from the book. See, this is a little bit limier, as we say, a little bit more tart. And then just to add to the top of this is club soda. So we make our own, and you can do this too. I love this little gizmo. I got rained on today too. We got rained on the beach a little bit, but it's nice. That's very refreshing, very refreshing. So there we have two garden to glass inspired drinks from Art of the Garnish. I want to take a picture of this one. Did I do that? And next week we're going to have a very special, because it's the last one of the Art of the Garnish series. So my mother, Virginia, is going to come on because she celebrates her 95th birthday next Friday. So she's going to come here. She doesn't live too far. Since my father died, she had moved down by us in the Garden State at our country house. And normally what we do is we celebrate with the fireworks and the festivities and a big party and all that. But this year we're going to do it virtually, so I invite you all to join us, or we'll have our birthday cake and some of Mother's favorite cocktails. And so I hope that you all can join us for the last of the series next week. And I so appreciate your support and your patience and your understanding and support of the book. And hi, Ann Smith. You and your girls are just so delightful. Your children, I should say, your adult stars that they are. They're the best. They really are. I really appreciate that. So next week we look forward to welcoming you for the last of the Art of the Garnish series. I'll thank you all personally after, and cheers to you. And I can say be safe, be well. I can't wait to drink this beautiful. Don't be blue. Be happy. Bye, everybody.